What's up guys, it is Gabe. Thanks for tuning in on today's review. Today we're going to be going over this 2019 Corvette Z06. Now this is not going to be a very comprehensive and a very detailed review. This is more or less going to be illustrating some of the main differences, and I'm also going to be describing how the car drives, how it pulls, and how the car is overall. Now there are 4 types of Corvette trims levels that you can get right now. There's a Corvette ZR1, which is the recently released one that is now track focused. There's the Z06, which is this one. There is the Grand Sport, and there's the Stingray Corvette. MSRP on this car is $83,000 with this package, which is a 3LZ. And let's just begin by saying that $83,000 for a 650 horsepower car from the factory is absolutely a steal, and it includes a warranty as well if you decide to get the warranty, which is recommended. You're going to be driving a 650 horsepower car that is perfectly capable of track, because again, before the ZR1, which was released, the C7 ZR1 was released, this was the track Corvette available. And you're also going to be driving a car that's very, very daily drivable. So for $83,000, that's not that bad. Now, without further ado, we're going to get started on the first thing, which is the exterior part of this car. The Corvette Z06 and the Grand Sport are very similar when we're talking about exterior characteristics. The Grand Sport and the Z06 share that massive grille in the front that allows for more airflow, and it does contain that hexagonal design. Now, one of the differences between the Corvette Grand Sport and the Corvette Z06, they do have the same size rim, however the styling is completely different. These rims are specific to the Z06. Both the Grand Sport and the Z06 do have the aero package side skirts, which gives it for extra downforce when you're taking it on the track. The Grand Sport and the Z06, as we move along in the back, have that really nice big spoiler in the back with the option to have wicker bills. And of course, one of the obvious differences between the Grand Sport and the Z06 is actually the badging. On the side, you will see that it will say Z06 on a Z06, and of course, the Grand Sport will have a Grand Sport badge. But one of the key differences that a lot of people that have the Grand Sport miss when they're converting it to a Z06 style look is the fact that the Z06 comes with clear taillights and the Grand Sport does not. They just come in red. So if you really are not sure about the owner having a Z06 or not, just walk over to the back and see that this will be a clear taillight, so it will obviously be a Z06. And if it's red, sorry my friends, but you got to spend a couple $100s more to get that authentic look. Now, of course, the biggest difference between the Grand Sport and the Z06 is that massive 6.2 liter supercharged engine, or the LT4, in the Z06 models. The Grand Sport just comes with a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter LT1, but it is a still pretty cool car. But the Z06 is just a bit cooler. Now, there aren't too many differences between the other Corvette lines aside from really the badging. Up front in the steering wheel here, we have the Z06 badging with this kind of dry, fake-ish carbon fiber. And of course, we do have the badge in the front of the center console here that says Z06 650 horsepower and 650 foot-pound-feet of torque. I recently reviewed my friend's 2017 Corvette Stingray, and I did describe that the Stingray's overall, the Corvette's interior has improved dramatically since the C6 generation. This package in particular comes with a dual-tone red and black interior. That dual tone is really noticed, of course, in the seats, but in the leather stitching of the driver's side, and I think it just looks phenomenal. It just really gives it that, you know, European race car look, and that's really what you want to have when you have a car when you're spending $83,000 on this car base. Now, before I start driving the car and really getting into how the car drives and doing a little bit of pulls and showing you guys how this car drives generally, I want to give you guys a little sound clip or an exhaust clip of this car, because guys, this is beautiful. Just a beautiful startup. These LT1s, these V8 6.2 liter LT1s sound amazing. Oh my god, that is beautiful. It does have that little rev limiter up to 4,000. But either way, it doesn't matter. It just sounds so good. And this is a stock exhaust from the factory. That's what's crazy about it. Okay guys, it's time to take this car for a spin. Kind of sweating, kind of excited, but let's go ahead and see how this car drives overall. Now, when you're in the car driving normally, I can kind of already hear Uncle Ben's voice.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Essentially, this is a lot of power and a lot of responsibility. So I'm actually going to do the first pull of the day. Do a little fourth gear pull. Okay, it reaches the speed limit very, very quickly, as expected. Again, you really do feel that instant power from the supercharger, and it's just phenomenal. It really is. It's crazy how fast you can reach the speed limit of 55 miles per hour. So right now I am in track mode, and that does enable, of course, the exhaust and the suspension to stiffen up a little bit. And right now it drives very well, very manageable, and it doesn't have a lot of, you know, bumps and really discomfort like a lot of track-oriented cars. This does have Magna Ride, and that does improve the overall condition of driving on a daily basis, and it does help on the track. Now again, some of the exterior items that we mentioned earlier, like the spoiler in the back, I see it here on the rear view mirror, and it looks so menacing, really cool. It actually is less visibility than in the Camaros. It's actually really crazy. You actually see like a hexagonal shape here, and it's very, very nice. And of course, on the side view mirrors, you see that wide body kit. It kind of looks like it is actually a wide body kit, but in reality, that's from the factory. And you gotta admit that wide bodied cars are just so much better than thin, like Challengers and even the Stingray, that it's just not bulky enough. It's not big enough. We're gonna go under a tunnel right here. Hear a little sound clip. Oh my god, that is intoxicating. Oh my. That is fast. That is really fast, and it's crazy how fast you hit the speed limit and stay at the speed limit for a very, very long time. Man, this thing is it's just a beast, and it just handles it so well. There's no wheel spin whatsoever. It's crazy. These are 20-inch rims in the back, and it's got 335 tires in the back, and man, do those things grip really tight. And that's what you want in a car like this. That's what you need, good grip, because if you got the good grip and the good suspension, you're gonna manage that power very, very nicely, and this car does it tremendously. Now, this is the 8-speed automatic transmission, and the paddle shifting and the at low RPMs is not as accurate as you're gonna have with the PDKs and the other transmissions with imported cars, more or less. It's gotta compose myself, but you floor it for a second and a half, and you're already at the speed limit. You don't really feel much of the weight when you drive this car, believe it or not. This is weighing in around 3,400, 3,500 pounds, which is almost, I would say, about 150 or 200 more than the Stingray, and almost 300 or 400 compared to the old C6 Z06. So, you know, there is quite a substantial difference, but you don't really feel it in the car. I believe it might have something to do with the amount of power that this car has, but again, you don't really feel that much difference. And here's an unsuspecting Camaro. We are going the speed limit, and the speed limit has not been exceeded during the filming of this video. The exhaust is not very loud. incredibly This is what reality looks like. It's going to be a lot of traffic. There's going to be a lot of bumper-to-bumper action. And thank God for the added automatic transmission. I really do believe that this car does it very, very well. And this is justifiable to have an automatic transmission with a car like this, because it's just too much power to be relying on a transmission to do it on a daily basis. The visibility is obviously very, very good. As opposed to the Camaro, visibility is ridiculously good. A little bit on the bumpy side here in the city, but you know, that's pretty normal. That was awesome. That was awesome. This car is just a beast of a car, and I'm just so shocked at how well it drives, how well it just maintains everything. And thank you guys for tuning in on today's review. I really hope that you guys found this video entertaining and a little bit informative at a very informal way. Again, this wasn't a very technical review. This was more of a what I think of the car and how it drives. And guys, I think that I rate this car an excellent 10 out of 10. It just, you know, it has the power, it has the handling, it has the affordability of a supercar, and I think that this car is definitely upon there. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in on this review, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Wait for me.